Good morning, friends. This is Dr. V.K. Mishra from Gastro-Liver Hospital, Swarupnagar, Kanpur. At the outset, a request. This is a scientific deliberation. I would request you to subscribe to this channel and share this video so that this information can be sent to majority of the population. I'll be talking about acute gastritis today. You understand that acute gastritis basically involves the lining of the stomach. The lining of the stomach gets swollen, it gets inflamed, and that is what is known as acute gastritis. Once you have acute gastritis, you can have nagging pain. You can have very severe pain. This pain may be temporary, may last for a very short time, but at times the pain of the acute gastritis can last for a little longer time. Now, as far as the pain of acute gastritis is concerned, it comes on absolutely suddenly. Why it is caused? It may be caused by any injury. It may be caused by any bacteria. It may be caused by any virus. Any stressful situation can give rise to acute gastritis. And the science thinks that if you ingest any irritant, it can give rise to gastritis. What may be the irritants? The irritants may be any painkiller which you are consuming. They may be steroids, the kind of drugs which you consume. It may be the spicy food you consume can give rise to irritation. And the tobacco is the most common reason which is a cause for irritation as far as the stomach lining is concerned. Now, alcohol, if you are into the binge drinking disorder, the science thinks can give rise to acute gastritis, which may be very troublesome. Now, the acute gastritis you need not to confuse with acute gastroenteritis. As far as the acute gastritis is concerned, as I told you that it is only the lining of the stomach which is involved. It does not involve any other part of the intestine. Since it involves only the stomach, you will have neck pain, you will have nausea, and you can have vomiting. While in gastroenteritis, it is the stomach, it is the small intestine, at times the large intestine, all the parts of the intestine are involved. Since they are involved, you will have nausea, you will have vomiting, you will have colicky pain, that the kind of pain which comes and goes, and then you will have diarrhea or loose motions also. But in acute gastritis, you will never have loose motions. So if there are loose motions, then indicates this thing that it is possibly gastroenteritis. Now, as far as the prevalence is concerned, the science thinks that over a period of time, the prevalence of chronic gastritis certainly has reduced because of better medication, better management. But as far as acute gastritis is concerned, the prevalence is steady, or at times it looks rising. So, the chronic gastritis certainly looks like that it's reducing. Now, the question is why it develops. It's very important to know, it's very important to understand. For any reason, if your lining of the stomach is damaged or a little weak, then what happens? The acid which is present there in the stomach is basically hits upon the lining of the stomach or the mucosa of the stomach. Since it was already weak and damaged, it gets weakened and damaged further. Once it gets damaged further, what happens? You will develop swelling. You will develop redness, you will develop erosions, and you can develop small ulcers also. That is what basically leads to a small amount of blood to ooze, so that you can have black stools also when you have acute gastritis. Now the question are that what are the causes which lead to the formation of the acute gastritis? Number one are basically the NSAIDs, or basically the painkillers which we consume. The second one is, and which is most common, is Helicobacter infection. This is one of the bacteria which stays in our stomach in the acidic environment, and it is one of the reasons for creating damage in the lining of the stomach. The third, as I told you, is the binge drinking disorder because of the alcohol. Then science thinks that it's basically the painkillers and the steroids which are the most common reason worldwide for causing acute gastritis. Now, as far as the Helicobacter infection is concerned, Helicobacter infection is one of the very important bacteria which stays in the stomach in the lining and creates different types of problems. It is said that is one of the most common reason for development of peptic ulcer. It also causes acute gastritis. If it causes acute gastritis, what you will have? You will have inflammation. You will have loss of appetite or complete anorexia. You can have nausea and repeated vomiting. You will have feeling of bloating continuously, and at times you may have very severe pain which may push you to the hospital for the emergency management. Now, there are certain other causes also which I want you to understand or to remember, in the sense that you can have acute gastritis because of the viral infections also, which is known as viral gastritis. Like any other virus, it can give rise to viral gastritis. Extreme stress can give rise to acute gastritis because of the acute stress, you develop quite a lot of cortisol in the body, and the cortisol enhances the production of the acid, which is the reason for the acute gastritis. Now, if the bile which is there in the small intestine, it get refluxed into the stomach, then also you can have bile reflux gastritis. Any corrosive use, if you have kidney failure, if you underwent any major surgery, or if you have septicemia or you are on ventilator, the science thinks then the possibility that you may develop acute gastritis are quite significant. Now, the question is that as far as the acute gastritis is concerned, that who are the people actually who are at risk of developing acute gastritis? The ones who are taking painkillers or non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs very regularly. It's not a question of that you have taken painkiller for 2 or 3 days and you will develop gastritis. But if you are taking NSAID regularly, then you are a candidate for acute gastritis. Now, if you are taking steroid for something regularly, then also you are a candidate for acute gastritis. If you have the habit of taking alcohol daily and you indulge in binge drinking disorder, then science thinks that you can develop acute gastritis. But if you underwent any major surgery, you are again at risk. As I previously told you, if you have kidney failure, if you have liver failure, if you have respiratory failure, these 3 things also can give rise to acute gastritis, which may be quite troublesome to you. Now, once you have acute gastritis, what are the symptomatology which you will face? If you have acute gastritis, nausea is a very prominent symptom. You can have vomiting also with the nausea. Pain is a very prominent symptom. You lose appetite completely and you have anorexia. If you have vomiting, at times you can bring blood in the vomiting or bloody vomiting. And at times you can have bloody stools because the blood passes in the intestine and your stool becomes absolutely black. At times you will have continuous dyspepsia, that is what you will have a feeling of bloating of the stomach every time you eat even a small amount of food. Now, symptoms basically are there, but the problem is there are many other diseases also in the stomach in which there is overlap between the symptoms of the acute gastritis and the other problems. Which are the other problems which get absolutely confused with acute gastritis? If you have peptic ulcer, the symptom may be same as acute gastritis. If you have Crohn's disease or inflammatory bowel disease, the symptoms may be similar as acute gastritis. If you have gallbladder stone or any gallbladder disease for that matter, science thinks that symptoms may be quite overlapping and you may get confused. If you have food allergy or food poisoning, the symptoms may be absolutely confusing. And the initial phase of acute viral hepatitis, in which you basically develop jaundice, the science thinks it's quite possible that the initial phase you may have features of acute gastritis. Now, if I suspect as a doctor that you have acute gastritis, then what do I do? How do I diagnose that you have acute gastritis? You need to understand that it is the clinical examination and your history that's one of the most important thing. 90% patients we are able to diagnose just on the basis of your clinical examination and your history which you give about the illness. Now, at times we need to do some investigations. The first would be the complete blood counts. So look into the whether you have anemia or any infective etiology. Then we test for the H. pylori or Helicobacter pylori. We can do a blood test. We can do breath test analysis, we can do saliva test, we can do basically fecal examination for Helicobacter antigen in occult blood. We can go for liver function test if I am suspecting that it could be basically a pathology related to your liver. Now, but the gold standard, the science thinks basically is the upper GI endoscopy. It is the gold standard investigation which diagnoses the acute gastritis absolutely with a clarity. As far as the upper GI endoscopy is concerned, we can do a biopsy. We can take out a very small piece from the stomach, and with this biopsy, we can do rapid urease test. And with rapid urease test, we can diagnose whether you have Helicobacter infection or not. At times, for acute gastritis, if it's getting confused, some X-rays may be required. At times the ultrasound is required if we are suspecting that it's quite possible that you have some gallbladder pathology or you have gallbladder stones. Now the question is, how do we treat? As far as the treatment is concerned, the most important things are that the acute gastritis mostly disappears on its own. You don't have to do anything. Science thinks it's basically a self-limiting problem and should not require any management. You need to go on blend diet. Need to go on soft diet which is low in natural acids, the diet which is low in fat, the diet which is low in fiber. If you take soothing soups and lean meats, the science thinks that over a period of time, the symptomatology of acute gastritis will disappear on its own. You need not really to take any treatment. But if your symptoms are persisting, that you would certainly require treatment. Now, the recovery time as far as the treatment is concerned depends upon that what is the cause of gastritis. At times, the prolonged treatment may be required. It depends upon how much is the extent to the lining of the stomach and what was the cause. But the most important thing is that you need to avoid the offending agent. Say, for example, your acute gastritis is because of alcohol. You need to stop it. It's because of the painkiller, you need to stop it. If it is because of the steroid, you need to stop it. So offending agent stoppage becomes one of the very important issues. Now look at the treatment. The first day of the treatment basically is the antacids. Antacids are the one basically which neutralize the acid. So if you neutralize the acid becomes low or becomes absolutely normal and the healing process starts. The second one are the coating agents which come in very different names, but the sucralfate is one of the important thing. When you take coating agent, basically they coat the lining of the stomach and the acid is not able to hit to the lining of the stomach and the healing starts. The third one are the H2 blockers. The H2 blockers are basically acid suppressing agents, but they're supposed to be the weak acid suppressing agents. There are many H2 blockers like famotidine, like ranitidine, like nizatidine, which are available in the market. They can be utilized for the treatment of acute gastritis. But the important medications which are very efficacious are the proton pump inhibitors. The proton pump inhibitors would be like omeprazole, pantoprazole, rabeprazole, esomeprazole and lansoprazole. These are the medications which suppress acid formation very effectively and they can be utilized as far as the treatment of acute gastritis is concerned. But if I am suspecting that you have Helicobacter infection, which is the reason for gastritis, it is quite possible that you will require some antibiotics like clarithromycin, like amoxicillin, like tetracycline. They will be given along with some proton pump inhibitor also, so that your acid formation is taken down. At times, tinidazole and bismuth compounds are also used, but the whole idea is that you need to eradicate Helicobacter infection so that the acute gastritis basically gets absolutely healed and cured. Now, you need to do some lifestyle changes so that you do not develop these problems. This is one of the very important issues. As far as the etiology is concerned, I told you that the risk factor is that if you consume tobacco in any form, you chew tobacco, you smoke tobacco, tobacco ultimately gives rise to the acute gastritis. You need to avoid tobacco at all. You need to limit or avoid alcohol. Limiting would be a right word, avoidance would be a little deleterious, but you need to limit alcohol. You need to avoid binge drinking absolutely, because it is unavoidable. Because if you are into binge drinking, then the repeated episodes of acute gastritis will be there. Now, you need to avoid spicy, fried and acidic foods. You need to eat frequently. You need to take small meals every time. It is the stress which need to be reduced, because stress is known to enhance the production of the acid and create gastritis. You need to avoid all those drugs which can irritate the stomach, like painkillers, like steroids, which can create the problem. At the end, friends, you need to understand that acute gastritis is a sudden inflammation or swelling in the lining of the stomach. It affects only the stomach. It not to be confused with acute gastroenteritis, which involves stomach and small intestine also. The most common cause for acute gastritis are either painkiller medications, steroids or Helicobacter infection. As far as the acute gastritis is concerned, science thinks that they are likely to subside on their own, and they usually subside very quickly. But at times, you may require some antacids or acid suppressing medicines. But in case, if you do not treat them properly, it is quite possible the acute gastritis may evolve into chronic gastritis, and you know for sure that chronic gastritis is a troublesome entity. Once you develop chronic gastritis, it is quite possible that you basically develop a risk for developing gastric cancer. So it's important that you need to treat acute gastritis so that you do not develop chronic gastritis, because chronic gastritis is likely to be a risk factor for gastric cancer. If you think that this video was informative enough to give you information about acute gastritis, then I would request you to subscribe to this channel and share this video. This is Dr. V.K. Mishra from Gastro Liver Hospital, Swaroopnagar, Kanpur. Thank you very much.